The horror at St. Andrew boarding school became intense. The two new head girls who are part of the witches kept initiating new students into their coven, with their usual handshake rituals at the assembly ground. And just as usual, no one could see their demonic faces. The SS3 students were preparing for their upcoming final year exam, and it was time to hand over the post of the head girl to an SS2 student. Around 12 a.m. at midnight, all the witches, including the principal and matron, gathered outside the school compound. They discussed their next target, and just like Amarka wrote in her letter, Anna was their next target. As usual, they would make her the head girl and initiate her into the witch coven. On the other hand, Gina and Faith, who were initiated, never remained the same. The girls were haunted and terrified by the strange changes within them. When they looked in the mirror, their faces were just like witches. They would scream in fear, but gradually they kept transforming. While they slept, around 3 a.m., their roommate would hear loud laughter and murmur coming from their bunks, but when they looked, Gina and Faith were deep asleep, with their heads facing up. Their spirits were being evoked by the witches for their meeting, but something happened. The witches noticed there was resistance. The girls were struggling, in their spirit. "They are refusing to join the rituals," one of the witches said. "They are already initiated, and this ought to be their first meeting, and since they are fighting it, they must pay," the head girl thundered. In the hostel, Gina's eyes snapped open. Her heart raced. The room was empty and silent. She turned. Faith's bed was empty, cold, untouched. Gina became frightened. She looked around and she was all alone. Then, she saw it. A note, resting on her blanket. She read it. "It's me, Faith. Come to the old library. Now." Gina froze. Her breath caught. She remembered Anna's warning. Never go near the old library. That was where they bewitched the former head girl, Amaka. Gina didn't know what to do. With nothing but a flickering torchlight, Gina crept through the narrow, overgrown path in the school old library. Her legs trembled with each step. She screamed as she stumbled on Faith, who was hanging from the ceiling. Rope around her neck. Eyes wide open. "No, no, no," Gina screamed, and suddenly a hand grabbed her and pulled her backward. She almost fainted, but turned to see it was Anna. "Keep quiet, don't talk, else they will come for you too. I saw you stepping out, and decided to follow you. We must hurry back. Now," Anna whispered. They both ran back. The school was silent the next morning. At the assembly, the principal announced the demise of one of their students. "We are so sad, we lost one of our students, who committed suicide," the principal lied. Gina cried out her eyes. "You liar. You people killed her," Gina said in her heart. Gina waited for their parents, who came to pick up Faith's dead body as the school had told them about her demise. Gina thought she was finally going to leave the school when her parents arrived. She told them everything about the school and how they killed Faith, thinking they will sue the school. But to her greatest surprise, her parents refused to withdraw her from the school and believed every lies the teachers told them about Faith committing suicide. She was shocked. She knew that was so unlike her parents. As her parents left, Anna whispered from behind. "I told you, didn't I? Even when I tried to talk to my parents about pulling me out of the school, they refused and didn't believe every word I said. No parents that bring their children here ever remain the same. The school controls the parents' heart. Your parents aren't doing what they are doing with clear eyes," Anna explained. Gina was more frightened. She was all alone now. At night, Gina saw shadows of the witches waving at her. She wakes up to see herself with her bed on the hallway, with witches surrounding her, waving and smiling. She woke up again in fear only to see Anna beside her. "I came to wake you up, you've been sleeping for hours," Anna said, smiling at her. In class that day, Gina noticed something about Anna. Anna was always all around her. She recalls how Anna always comes from nowhere when every incident occurs. She tried not to think much about it, only to look up and see Anna smiling at her from her seat. However, in the mental hospital, where the former head girl, Amarka, was, a pastor had come to pray over a patient, and while he was praying, it affected Amarka where she was. Amarka's body convulsed. She screamed and opened her eyes. It was as though something left her body, but she had a complete loss of memory. She became okay, but she couldn't remember anything about the past. The last thing she remembered was school. She was later discharged from the hospital, when they noticed she is now back to normal. When her parents came to pick her up, she was confused. "Mummy, Daddy, what I'm doing here? I'm supposed to be in school." No. My SS3 final year exam is coming up, why I'm here and not in school. She couldn't remember anything, not even what happened in school or anything about the witches. Her parents took her home and assured her she will return back to school when she fully recovers. Now Amaka prepared to return back to St. Andrew boarding school. Meanwhile, a popular pastor's daughter, from the city, Myra, had a dream. In it, she saw herself in the midst of a massive group of girls with demonic faces in uniform at night. She looked confused in the dream, but her body was walking among other girls in green and white uniforms. She told her father about the dream and said, "I saw a school in my dreams and that's the school I want to attend there. I feel that school needs me. I think God wants me to go to that school." Her father, who has been looking for a decent boarding school to enroll his daughter, didn't hesitate and said, "If you say so." Myra is a very prayerful and intelligent girl, blessed with the gift of seeing visions. She sees things before it happens. After her dream, she felt the school was calling her. She felt God had shown her the school in her dream because she has a mission there, but little did she know how dreadful the school is. So she prepared to go to St. Andrew boarding school. Back in school, Gina woke up, trapped by the witches in the school's old library. She was tied to a chair and the witches surrounding her. "You dare fight our initiation, now you will pay," they thundered. Gina was shocked to see that Anna has been part of the witches all along. She had flashbacks on how Anna was always around her whenever something happened, right from that night Faith was killed. "Don't be surprised, my darling," Anna's dreadful voice echoed. "I have been watching you all along. I personally wrote you that letter you saw on your bed that night. And as for your friend, she is gone forever and soon you will join her, but you need to stay here for a while." They locked Gina up in the old library. She screamed, but no one could hear her. Gina didn't know the witches had succeeded in initiating Anna. The night they thought of making her the new head was when they initiated her. The next day, in the assembly ground, the principal announced Anna as the new head girl. And Anna stood smiling, but beneath her skin was that of a beast. Just as the assembly was going on, 2 new students arrived at the same time. The first person to step in was Amarka. It wasn't a new girl, as they thought, it was their former head girl, Amaka. The principal was surprised. The witches who knew what happened before froze in shock. "How come she is free?" The witches whispered in their hearts. But what they didn't know is that Amaka has lost her memory. She didn't even remember anything. Amaka smiled as she saw Anna. They were best friends, before Amaka left. Amaka walked towards her for a handshake, but little did she know Anna had been initiated. Anna herself was surprised. There was confusion among the witches. Just as that was going on, another new girl stepped forward. It was Myra. The pastor's daughter could see visions. The moment Myra stepped into the school compound, the ground shook. The witches, including the principal, matron, the 2 old head girls, as well as Anna, and other witches in the assembly all felt something strange in the spirit. Something ancient stirred. For the first time in decades, the school felt fear. They felt a strange spirit stronger than theirs within. This is where the real war and battle begins. But the question is, would Myra's prayers or visions be enough, compared to over 50 strong initiated witches? And what will happen to Amarka, who is unaware of everything going on? Do you think Gina, who is locked up in the old library, has the chance to survive? This is where it gets intense. The battle has just begun. Follow for part 5.